Welcome back to Artwork, a professional development program about working in the visual arts in Atlantic Canada. I'm Sarah Jones, the curator at Jones Gallery in St. John, New Brunswick. Today on Digital Strategies for Visual Artists, what happens if people steal images from your website and what steps you can take to mitigate that risk. There are two types of non-ideal or unsanctioned use of images from your website. The first is a scenario in which a person doesn't pay for a work and downloads an image instead and prints it and then uses it in some kind of personal capacity. So they stick the print on their wall instead of the original painting, for instance. This is obviously not great, but I don't think it's something that you should lose sleep over. You can mitigate this risk by making sure you aren't posting huge file sizes on your website. So image sizes should be large enough so they appear clear and not pixelated on the screen, but also don't upload the full resolution 20 meg file either. That way, our nefarious downloader won't be able to print anything, larger than this without it going fuzzy. And also keep in mind that this kind of person was never going to be a client anyway, so you still haven't lost the sale. You still retain the copyright, you still have the work itself potentially. The second scenario involves someone stealing images to pass your work off as theirs or to sell unsanctioned prints of your work perhaps. So this is breaking copyright law. You retain copyright to all of your work, regardless if the work has been sold or not. You retain copyright to the image itself in perpetuity, unless you say otherwise. If it's a really serious situation where your income is being affected, or it's obvious that they're gaining financially in some substantial way because of your loss, then by all means, consult a lawyer. I would also recommend contacting CARFAC and your provincial arts associations for support and for resources if something like this happens. I'll link to those and more information about copyright in the video notes. Chances are, though, it's going to be more of a rinky-dink operation, so just somebody on the internet grabbing images. Then you have to assess if it's worth getting a lawyer involved. If they're saying your work is their work, you know what? Good luck to them. They still have to produce something if they're getting hired or commissioned on the basis of your work or your ideas, and that will just eventually fall to pieces. So these kind of image stealings can happen and do happen. I tend to think that the potential harm or potential risk doesn't outweigh the potential good of having your portfolio available and published online. By shielding your work from bad people, you're shielding your work from the good people who will support you and buy your work and offer you exhibition opportunities. So just make sure that you post appropriately sized images. Don't use watermarks. So that's when you kind of add text across an image, like say copyright Sarah Jones. They look stupid and they're distracting, and our internet baddie could just Photoshop them out anyway. And make sure you have a basic grasp on copyright and moral rights for your images and for your practice. Thank you for watching. Artwork's major funder is Canada Council for the Arts, and we'll see you again soon.